and learn.
Hello, this is Sean Esrich, director, producer, actor, camera operator, and content creator here at Cinema Storms. I have a video camera here, which I will show you. And like I said, it's the camera I use. So, yeah. And then when I'm done, I usually turn the camera off. So what I do is this. When I'm done, I stop the recording. It'll make a beeping sound, right? And then that's what happens when I'm done. Now, the other thing I do is I shut off the power first. So I go here, shut that off. I close that. Okay, now what I do is when I'm done doing my videos, I take the camera off. So I got to loosen in a clockwise fashion, like right, left basically takes it off. Right tightens the grip. Like righty tighty, lefty loosey, right? That's how you do it. Now I just take the camera off and I just take this thing off of the grapple. Sometimes it takes a lot of work to get it off, so you got to really, do that. So let me show you another thing I use here. Okay, this is my tripod. It was given to me from my mom's friend. It's very nice. It's awesome. I just want to thank my mom's friend for giving me his tripod as a gift. I would suggest if you want to get a tripod, get something that you can afford in your budget. It looks like it's 3 legs, so it's 3 legs. So there's 1 leg here, and 1 leg right there, and 1 leg right there. So right now what I'm doing is I'm recording from my phone. I do it from the video camera. I do it from all kinds of devices. Now, that's how I pretty much do a lot of my videos. Now, what you're going to see on the camera is when I do my reactions, this is how I do it. I record myself right here, okay? Or wherever I'm at, and I just go, okay. Or I say, okay, we're going to do a game review on this game or whatever, and I have to remember my lines. Because sometimes I falter or I fail, so I don't remember my lines pretty well. So sometimes I use a script or a screenplay that I make, or I just try to remember things from my head. Because I figure if I can't type up anything, I just gotta remember things from my head as best I can. And it's like if you use a screenplay or a script, it's better because you don't have to worry about remembering everything. But even if you use a script, you still gotta remember what you're gonna say on the video. And that's the key to understanding how to act. So when it comes to taking down a tripod, this is what you gotta do. First thing you gotta do, put all 3 legs together. The next thing you gotta do is you gotta open up these latches right here and make the whole thing go down. So basically, this is what it looks like when you have it latched down. So these little black latches here, this tightens the tripod. Where you want to put the legs in place, these keep the legs in place. Oh, I'll show you. But pretty much that's how it works. I'll give you an example how I do this. Okay, so this is what I do. I plug this thing in. Oh wait, hold on. Then I put my cord into the computer socket right here, USB port, okay? Right here, see? USB port. Oh. Like that. Now, my camera will say these options, what you see on the screen. This is the options I have for my camera once I have it hooked up and ready to go on the computer. The socket's in the plug-in for the USB port. Now, when I want to transfer footage, you want to click on mass storage. So mass storage means that you're able to actually transfer all that information into the computer database system. So now it's all in there, right? So now we got to go, and this is what will pop up on my screen. This pops up if you have a BAS. This is what pops up. This is important because this is just scanning to see if there's any viruses or threats. Usually you do want to scan what you transfer because you never know, it might carry a virus. Now, I go here, I go to scan just to see if there's any problems with the footage that's on the so-called card for the camera. And it tells me if there's any threats or anything. It says no malware found. You say done. Click done. That's it. Up the window here with all my video game footage that I have. Now, I go up here to any converter. That's the next thing I do, which is part of the step. Here we go. Oh. It takes a while to load, but you know, it just takes time, but it will load. Okay, there it is. Okay. Now, usually you want to hit cancel. You don't really need to update if you don't want to. This is another thing I use. This is my controller I use, or this is my controller I use to play the games. So I hook that up to my computer. That's how I play my games. And there's all pretty much half my games right there. All my Wii games, Sega CD. Now you got to figure out where the footage is. And that's probably like E drive 1 or 2 or one or the other. What you want to click on is this, DCM. DCM is basic video. So you want to click on one of these. There it is. And you can tell if it's video because it has the play button right there. You see that? You see all that? You see those movie reels? Those are my videos that I have. Now, go back. If I go to this folder, because so 100, I believe this is the pictures. Another way I use to record my footage when it comes to capturing video footage on video games, like even from whatever I have hooked up to the system, which is the emulation process. This is the program we use called OBS. Anybody knows this program because you use it. People use it with their broadcasting and everything. So yeah, this is the program I use, OBS. I go here, click there. I maximize that. And there's my window. Now, usually if I want to play like a game console from the emulation process, I go here. When I want to capture the video game footage and the imagery, I go up here to where it says capture to, or whatever I make it as. Then I go down here to selecting the system I want to use from the computer database process. Click on that. There it is. That's how I capture the video game footage from the emulation system on the computer. Now, that's how I do that. This is my controller I use to play the games. So I hook that up to my computer. That's how I play my games. And there's all pretty much half my games right there. All my Wii games, Sega CD. Basically, this is how you make a Mad Video Gamer episode. I've given you tips on how to do it, and bam, this is how I always did it. Now, whenever I knew that a track I didn't need, I just move it over like this. Or I can move it down wherever I want, you know, it's my thing. I just do whatever I want and just do this, and take that track, move it over here, whatever I want to change it. So yeah, this is how you do the Mad Video Gamer episodes. Another thing you always should recognize is when you put time codes on videos, that's actually smarter. I usually don't use that, but if you do that, that's actually a very good idea. I don't use time codes. I just cut a clip, whatever I don't need. So I just go here. If I don't need this clip, pause. I go over here and I cut it. And then I go like this and cut that part out. Boom, I don't need it. Now, one of the other things I want to suggest, I bet you guys wanted to know, like, how do I get rid of the sound in the video? Like, if I don't want it in this video, how do I get rid of it? Well, you click on the soundtrack right here, right? And you go like this. Highlight it. You press the U key. And you go, wait. You cut it. And bam, no sound. And now I can put my voiceover in there if I want, or I can just keep the sound in there. Usually you want to make those. See? That's how you do that. You click that, click there. I'll say, we're going to do a game review. So that's how you do that. And then if you just want to reverse it, you just go to Control Z and it gets rid of that problem. Now the sound is back. So there you go. Then you notice the sound is too loud, right? So you can always turn it down and look at what happens. Oh, it's still a little too loud, right? So you gotta turn it down. There you go. Or you can turn it down right here. There you go. That's how you turn the sound down. Bam. And then if you want to render the video when you're done, you always gotta make sure that you have your video track highlighted like this. Then when you're ready to render, you go up here to Tools, Render to New Track. And then when you do that, it takes you to another screen, whatever format you want to use. This is what I suggest you should use. This is what I use to render my videos. Okay. It will pop up with a separate screen you're going to see. Just a minute. Hopefully it'll pop up. There it is. Okay, so you want to select, usually, Bang Concept MPEG 2 HDV 720 30p. Depending on what your camera speed is, that's usually what you want to select. Or something lower than that. Oh yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much what you want to do. And you just say sound footage. I go up here, hit this main button. Here we go. Okay, and I say this, like, what the fuck is this? I'll say, we're gonna do a game review on cut action. We're going to do a game review on cut action. Usually you want to make those cuts and actions because sometimes when you mess up, it's better to say it. There we go. But yeah, that's pretty much how I do it when I record my sound voiceovers. There you go. Now watch. I go over here, down here to, wait. I go here to Properties. I go here to Normalize. Classic. Lock in. And bam, this is what happens. Watch. Now watch what happens. Okay. And I say this. Like. Okay, so for example, I say. Okay. And I say this. Like. What the fuck is this? So, where I know I need to cut something, I go right here. Splice it, and I cut it out. So now that's not in there anymore, is it? What the fuck is this? So now you go like here if you want to turn down the volume for too much of the wavelength. Now watch what it says. What the fuck is this? Isn't that better? Now that's pretty much how I do that. My microphone, this is what I used to record the episodes. Okay. So anyway, here's my GIMP. This is how I actually turn an image into a green screen image. Waiting for it to load. Still waiting. Come on. Takes a while sometimes for this thing to pop up. And there you go. There's GIMP. So this is what you do. Okay, let me show you. Okay, so let's just say I want to take a picture of something. I'll go to pictures, right? I'll go here. So now I'm in pictures, and this is what I do. I gotta look for the picture of the stuff. So let's say I want to take a picture of something, right? For example, let's say I want to take a picture of take a picture of this, right? I put it right into GIMP. This is what I do. Okay, let me show you. Now, the one thing you gotta learn with GIMP is you've got to always go back to the idea of adding a new layer. Well, with Photoshop Elements, you can actually do it another way. So what I do is I merge down the layer so it fits that exact duplicate match. Then what you want to do is you always want to create a duplicate, because now you can actually have another layer to do it with, or that you don't have to worry about doing that, but I rather do it that way. You know what I mean? Now you just do this. Watch this. See? Now you can make your own green screen come to life just by doing that. And then let's see. Do this. You always want to make sure you actually go around the edges pretty well. Sometimes if you don't, you got to repair that. So it's better to always use the lasso tool. So yeah, sometimes you should use a lasso tool, because if you screw up, you know, you're gonna get a messed up image. So that's how I do it in GIMP. There you go. Okay, now the one thing you understand here is I would say your best option right here to select when you're actually trying to make the green screen shade in, use the pencil or the brush. Make certain to select the square that is in the middle below all the other tools. It's above the white square, which is your part of your eraser. So definitely select the one above the white square. Now you're going to get to your color swatches. Of course, you're going to take your picker and kind of examine all the coloration. Make sure that you select the green patch of that coloration. And then you want to make certain that you go to the next part of the window, which is your marker, where you can actually turn down the color or up. So that way you get more of a better idea of how you can make the color bright enough to make your fluorescent green. And then you select it with the picker or whatever. And then once that job is done, then you'll see at the middle part of your screen, you'll see all these toolbars. You'll see one where it says current and old. Of course, on the top it'll say change foreground color, which you already did. You want to make certain to click on the arrow box that says to the right. Click on that, and then you'll see one of the colors change to your exact color that you selected. Then you press OK, and you're ready to go. So now we're going to try doing some green screen footage. This is how I do it. Okay. For example, I take something that's off green screen, or, you know, download it. Just go here and you click on it. Okay. You click on this thing, which says, event effects. Okay. So when I click on this, I should get a menu popping up. Oh, by the way, sometimes the menu doesn't want to pop up. Oh, there it is. Now it popped up. Okay, so there's our chroma key option. Okay, so do you want to click on this window option right here, where it has a blue rectangle? And what you want to do is you want to click inside this screen, because this is where you got to put the drop in. Boom. Now it's on green screen. Now, let's say I want to put this in the video, right? So close that. And okay, I put this right here. And watch. Actually, you always want to make sure that your video is in the right place. So what you need to do is you need to make sure this is below. And now look, there it is. It's on the screen, isn't it? So there you go. That's how I do my green screen footage. You can do it any one of them, whatever you download or load up on. There you go. I think I would suggest if you're getting a green screen cloth and you get to put on your wall piece by piece, you don't have a stand, this is what you use. These tacks right, you could buy these too at Best Buy or something too. But if you get the full set on the internet, it's really good, and you get the stand. But I can't afford it, so I just I get piece by piece from Joann's. There you go. Another app I use for green screen background, CapCut. Try it out. But yeah, never ever put tape on your green screen cloth because it will fall right off your wall. That's a good tip for you. So here's my green screen cloth I use for my videos. Sometimes I have to hang this thing up, and yeah, it takes a lot of work. Hang it up with all these thumbtacks and everything. There you go. But yeah, if you want to get green screen, you can go to, if you want to get a cloth for a green screen and you can't afford it, and you want to get something really cheap, you might as well go with Joann's, because that's what I did. There you go. There's my cloth right there. Anyway, that's where it's at. There you go. If you want to know the program I use, it's called Movie Studio Platinum. Sony version 13, Windows 10 compatible, and yeah, it's a pretty good program. I love it. Some people use After Effects, or they'll use Adobe Premiere, but since I don't have Adobe Premiere or After Effects, this is the program I use for my movie editing. So there you go. All right. But like I said, when I make these episodes, yeah, it's a lot of work to make all these episodes. It really is. And people say, well, how long does it take to make one? It takes pretty much, I would say, 2 weeks to 3 weeks, almost to a month, to make a certain episode. Or it might even just take a week, depending on how many things I got to put in the episode, like a lot of green screen footage, or just a little bit of more gameplay or game footage, or more commentary and talking. It requires a lot of work. And so, yeah, you just got to take time to be able to do all these things. And if you're able to do all these things, then yeah, you're good to go. But my suggestion to you, if you're trying to do the same thing I'm doing, definitely get a computer, get downloading software to help you if you need it. You can get a capture device, or you could just use OBS. I use OBS to capture pretty much a certain amount of my gameplay footage. Sometimes that also helps. Use your game systems. The other thing I wanted to talk about is, do I use script for these videos? Some of them I did. I sometimes type out a script or a screenplay, or I just remember it from my head. Sometimes I can make mistakes, just like any other person would. You can repeat yourself and all that stuff, but you got to just make sure that you catch yourself when you repeat. Because when you do that, you know where you make the mistake, and you know how to fix it and correct it. So basically, that's pretty much what I do. I would suggest it's better to have a script or a screenplay because at least you can look at it. But even here, I don't look at a screenplay or script. I just remember what I got to say and record it in from my voice. So that's how I do my stuff when it comes to voiceovers. Now let me show you another thing. Now I will do an exact, outtake for you. Okay, so let's say, okay, I can just sit here or sit anywhere and I'll say, okay, we're going to talk about the game Nightmare on Elm Street. And of course I messed up. So I got to keep doing it again. Okay, cut. Action. Okay, we're going to talk about the game A Nightmare on Elm Street for the NES. Cut. We are going to talk about a game A Nightmare on Elm Street for the NES. There you go. And the thing is, it's not good to totally look at the camera, but the reason why you want to look at the camera, because it'll capture your image pretty well. And then you'll know what you're going to say when you're looking at the camera, because you're looking at the audience. The audience is right here, right in front of you. Because if you go like this, you look that way, how are they going to know you're looking at them? You're like, what am I doing over here? But see, this is how I do my stuff, and this is how I do my reactions, everything. This is how it gets done, and like I said, if you guys want to do the same thing I'm doing, hey, feel free to try. I mean, you can do the same things I do, you just got to get good equipment, get a good computer, a good camera, a controller, get a game console, game capture device. You can probably just, download some games, use that for what you need to do, and get your OBS ready, and bam, you got it all. This is my Xbox 360. There you go. Oh, and down here, there's my Wii. Yeah, it's hooked up still. So yeah, sometimes I use even these systems for doing my stuff as well. Please continue to subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. Also, I just wanted to say thank you guys for all your support, and thank you for watching.